Hello folks, Reloading Bench back with you once again, and I think I'm going to title this short video Stepping Back in Time, specifically to 1979. So this is a current version, I'll call it a retro, of the 1979 product. And since the camera's in the way, let me step around this side. This particular product was the hottest item on the market for the Christmas season of 1979. And let me see if there's any paperwork I need to get rid of. So this was the hottest single item in 1979. And let me move the box off because you won't be able to see it. And that is it. Wow. How does that get so beat up? look at the box, the condition of the box. That's just funny. Over the years, I've seen the different versions of the Atari 2600. So my parents, for Christmas, picked this up in 1979 for me. So I was in my early teens, and again, this was probably, without question, the hottest product in 1979 because video games had just started to take off with, Pong. And for kids today, when you look at the graphics, and I'll show this box here in a second when I finish tearing up the effing plastic that doesn't want to tear. Plastic and scissors just don't go well together. They just don't. You try to open something neatly and F it, doesn't happen. So again, this was the state of the art, and I'm probably not telling anybody things they don't know. This was state of the art back in 1979. So let me go ahead. And again, I had resisted the temptation to pick one of these up because the versions recently in the last few years have been not full-size versions. They've been like, mini handheld versions of the console. Whereas this, I'm going to bump the camera because it's everything in the way. This is a full-size version of the original. In fact, it looks identical to what I remember. The big difference being, we've got some modernization here, HDMI, different ratios, 4:3 or 16:9, depending on, your big screen TV. Level of difficulty, I don't remember those. What I thought was very cool was they have the pinout for the original controller. So if you have a controller from 1979, in theory, it should work here. And then obviously power with USB-C. So some modern touches to an old gaming console. And it came with, in the box, much nicer condition than this box. It came with one joystick controller. And again, there have been so many knockoffs over the years, and some of the biggest differences you'll see on the knockoffs, not having the yellowness. Does it feel like what I remember? Yeah, it sure does. Wow. Talk about old school, and again, the original pinout. Old school gaming, and I would imagine this one. So this was on sale, the whole deal, I think it was $131, which again, I priced on Amazon and everywhere else to see what made sense. So I bought this directly from Atari, as opposed to going to Amazon and picking it up on Amazon, because if you priced, I think Amazon had the same pricing, but they only included one controller, whereas Atari, you're getting the discounted price plus a second controller, and these controllers are ridiculously expensive I think they're like 47 some odd dollars for that controller. But it supposedly comes with, get stuff out of the way. Actually, it feels like there's some other shit in here. Ah, there is. So I thought, and it's not very complicated, you know, hook up to your TV. I'm going to show a picture because back in my day, with TVs being so limiting, you had to use this funky game selector switch. And I don't know what's in here. Ah, okay. All of, wow, this whole box for 2 cables. Okay, that's cool, I guess. So there is your HDMI cable, which means you've got a limited range from your TV. And then here's your power for USB, a USB adapter. I'll have to see what, because they do not include that USB adapter. Number one, let's see, do they talk about it? No. So you don't get a USB adapter, which I would imagine in today's world is no big deal, considering how many people have phones and other devices that use USB charging. So not having a USB charger is not a showstopper. But the other thing that it came with, and that's what this was weighted down, it's probably going to be easier to take it out of the bottom than it is going to be to try and yank it out of the top, is the game. So it comes with a cartridge of 10 games, and the games are Adventure, Combat. Combat was one of my favorite with the tanks. Dodge 'em, Missile Command, Maze Craze, Haunted House, don't remember most of these, Real Sports Volleyball Surround, Video Pinball, and Yar's Revenge. So again, cartridge based. I love the fact that they stuck to, you know, the reality of, and I'm going to assume it's just that simple. Plug cartridge in, and apparently, from what I've read, this is backward compatible with existing cartridges. So if you have a cartridge from 1979 and beyond, this will supposedly work. I would like to try that, so I will look on probably eBay to see if there is somebody selling an old cartridge for, you know, something reasonably priced for historical purposes. Again, strolling down memory lane, but this takes me back to what I'm going to say is 1979, and brings back fond memories. I know exactly what happened to my Atari probably in the early 80s, 1982, 1983, brought it to his friend's house, and then I left for the military and never saw it again. So this was part of the reason to go after the full size as opposed to the little mini ones that have been floating around for years that I don't believe have the same type of cartridge capability. I think it's a USB stick where all the games are on USB. Again, just a different level of cool, but to me this brings back complete retro to what I would call 1979. So very cool stuff, and that is it for stepping back in time.